picked up the Warrior palette by Juvia's Place. If y'all don't know anything about this brand, they have highly pigmented shadows. They're really good. The matte's really good. The shimmers are really good. And they're actually really affordable. And you get giant pan sizes. Like this palette is every... Gosh. There's like a little fleck of dust and I need to get it off. So this is the palette right here. First of all, the packaging is my favorite. If y'all know anything about my style is I adore anything very like Art Deco, very stylish. I love golds, obviously, because I only ever do warm smoky eyes. So today we're just gonna be playing around with this and just seeing kind of like what look we can create. I love that they put in like a skin shade, like for me, just because if I'm gonna bring a palette somewhere, I need something to set down my concealer. So I'm picking up, and I am gonna butcher all of these names, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump into it. I'm gonna pick up this shade right here, and then dig my fingernail into it. I wanna say this is a Hosi. I don't know. I'm, like, as y'all know, I'm literally trash garbage at pronouncing anything. So, and as you can see, the brush I'm using is really big. I've been weirdly setting my foundation and everything with this brush, especially my eyelids, because my eyelids are actually kind of big. It's just I have really hooded eyes. To start off with, there's only 3 mattes, honestly, but I mean, I'm down with it. This is the shade I'm gonna pick up next. This is Kano. Kano. Why do I suck at pronouncing everything? And I'm using a huge brush for this, and I'm just gonna, I start in the middle and I work my way out, and then I just fluff it all in. Now I'm picking up a slightly smaller brush. This is the Luxie 205 Taper Blending, and I'm picking up that shade one more time, this Kano shade, and just kind of like continuously buffing that in. The pants that I'm wearing today are like super warm toned pants. They're like a caramelly camel color, almost exactly like this shade. So I kind of want to like match my pants, if that's weird. It's kind of weird. I'm gonna pick it up on a brush first. No, just kidding. I'm just gonna use my finger, even though I have like giant claws on. So I'm gonna pick up this shade Amina, which is this one right here. It's like this beautiful like champagne-y shade. Oh, that's like really gold. That's not even champagne-y. Oh my gosh. Love. You can't even tell on camera, but it's like super pigmented, and I like that their formula is like really buttery. Like when I put my finger in, I'm picking up quite a bit of product every time I dip in because it's so creamy and delicious. I'm gonna go back in with that crease shade, Kano, on a denser fluffy brush than what we have been using. And I'm just gonna run that over the outer corners. And don't worry if you get sloppy, we can always clean that up with a makeup wipe later. So I'm gonna pick up, it's a Luxie 227T. I don't know if the T is for like tiny because it's like a little dinky little brush. So I'm gonna pick up this shade Mino, which is like the darkest shade that they have in this palette, which is also coincidentally the last of the mattes. And I'm just gonna stamp this in on the outer corner. But I'm not really going in like a V motion. I'm only starting kind of like where that crease ends and then pushing it really hard into my lash line. So it's diffusing it and almost giving me like a really thick smoky wing effect. what I wanted to do is I wanted to pick up, I'm going to spray this with Max Fix Plus, and hopefully I can kind of like pick it up and it will only stamp in like a certain, these shimmers work better applied with your finger, but I want to like plant like some really light intense shadow, this More Me shade, this one right here. And so I spray my brush with Max Fix Plus so I can like really pick it up so it'll stay on that brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this along the inner part of my eye, kind of like only toward the lash line. So I'm going to go back in with Kano, which is that crease shade that we've been using. And then because we've covered up that gold shade a lot, I'm going to go back in with my finger with Amina and just kind of barely tap on that middle part. Now, so that's all the shades I'm going to use right now. But I'm just going to clean up these edges, put on the rest of my face, and then I'll come back to do the lower lash line. Hey guys, so we are back. I got my whole face on, everything. And now what we're going to do is work on the lower lash line. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to, where's my mirror? Okay, just kidding. We're taking this palette since apparently all the other ones are put away. So what I want to do is I want to pick up that same Kano shade that we did before, and I'm picking up this brush from Crown. It's a really flat but fluffy brush. It's pretty dense. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this outer corner and just bring it all the way in. I'm kind of making this a little bit more grungy, so I'm actually kind of dragging it down and being a little bit more messy and trying to be like precise up underneath the lash line. And so I'm just kind of like dragging this all the way down and just kind of fluffing that in place because it is so light and it is a crease color. Now I do want to smoke out the lash line like quite a bit, so I'm going to pick up this brush. This is the Luxie 121 Mini Round. It's one of their holiday brushes. Picking up Mino, and I'm just going to press that really hard up against the lash line, connecting with this outer corner and bringing this all the way in. Now I've been using my liner just a little bit more recently, and because of that, well, I've been using it a lot because of the Kat Von D, tattoo liner and Trooper, because it's so skinny and I can get really, really close to the lash line. I'm just going where all the dark is. I'm just going to be lining. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a black shadow. Mino is pretty close to a black, but I'm picking up Noir since I have my Soft Glam palette right now. And I was just going to use that palette, but I really do want to add this. So I'm picking up this pencil brush. This is a eyebrow brush. Sorry, not pencil brush. And I don't even know what brand this is from. Bogachus. And I'm picking up Noir. And I'm going to stamp that on there just to help diffuse. Alright, now because I have everything on my eye that I wanted to, I'm going to finish off. I had the brush. Guess not anymore. There it is. Just kidding. So now I'm going to pick out that More Me shade one more time, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to pack that in on the inner corner and brighten it up. Hey guys, so this is the finished look. I really like how it turned out. It's I just really like the Juvia's Place palettes. They're some of my favorite, and I think this palette is probably one of my top favorites just because they have such pretty shimmers across the board, and because I'm a warm smoky kind of girl, and I'll kind of jazz it up with like a pretty shimmer every now and then if I don't want to go all matte. So this palette is really worth it. This is the packaging outside. These are all like the little warrior tribe something. I'm not 100% sure. There's a story on the back of the palette that it actually tells you about, like where it's from. It's like kind of the inspiration behind each palette, because I want to say all of them are like, every single one of them have something to do with African culture. So they're all just very themed toward those kinds of things, and they have all these names that I cannot pronounce, but they're really beautiful. And that goes for like all these shadows are like super pretty. They blended out super well, and I'm really pleased with how this look came out. So if you were looking to invest in some eyeshadow palettes, just check out Juvia's Place for sure, because they're some of the best. And yeah guys, if y'all like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.